Hi there, this is Vale's Winky Face, and today we are going to be reviewing another tome tips. Today we are doing Tome 1 Awakening, page 2. If you enjoy this content, be sure to like and subscribe, and you can also find me at twitch.tv for live streams. Let's get into it. Alright, so like I mentioned, we will be reviewing page 2 of Tome 1 today. Now, in order to get to Tome 1 or get to that page, from the main menu, go to the Archives. Once that loads up, you will want to navigate to the Compendium if it already put you on a different tab. So click on the Compendium, go over to the red tome, Tome 1 Awakening, and click on that. Now, if you have already completed or reached the epilogue of page 2, it will put you on a different page, so make sure that you navigate over to page 2 by clicking here. You will start at this nodule called the prologue, and from here you can either start with a killer or a survivor challenge. As always, you can always reach the epilogue by playing as only one role or the other, but in order to fully complete the page, you do need to play as both killer and survivor. Let's begin. We'll start here. Agitated Advantage, Killer Master Challenge. Hook 2 survivors in the basement while using the perk Agitation. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Now, Agitation is a teachable perk from the Trapper. This perk speeds up your walking speed while carrying a survivor to the hook. That will help you get to the basement better. You can run this in conjunction with the common perk Iron Grasp to ensure that you make it to the basement hooks if you're a little bit further away. And my other recommendation is sending yourself to a small map with relatively fixed basement locations such as Dead Dog Saloon. Golden Age. This is a flex challenge that can be completed by either playing as killer or a survivor. Golden Age challenge. Earn 20 emblems of gold quality or better. Now you can earn up to 4 emblems or gold emblems within each trial, so it will take several matches to complete this one. You will have a higher status quality for the emblems as long as you are completing all of the different tasks as either killer or survivor. Now, it is easier to get a higher quality emblem status whenever you are in the Ash and Bronze ranks on both killer and survivor. So if you are having trouble completing this challenge while in iridescent or gold ranks, just wait until the rank reset or the grade reset that happens each month on the 13th, and then this one will be easier to complete. Revend Killer Challenge. Sacrifice 13 survivors to the entity. Now with this challenge, it is sacrificing them to the entity, and so bleeding a survivor out on the ground, a mori or kill by your hand does not count. There are a few other situations that wouldn't count, such as a kill by reverse bear trap if playing pig. So yeah, just it has to be to the entity by killing a survivor by placing them on a hook. Enlightened Survivor Master Challenge. Blind the killer 2 times. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Again, this is a master challenge, so it has to be completed within one trial. You can typically blind killers by using a flashlight, and this is easiest done whenever a killer is locked in a animation, such as when they are kicking a pallet or picking up a survivor off the ground. Now, aiming the flashlight may be something that you struggle with at first. You can ask a friend to hop into a customs match to try and get better with that. And if a killer is running the perk Lightborn, you will not actually blind the killer. So if you happen to go against a killer running Lightborn while trying to complete this challenge, you won't be able to do it within that trial, but hopefully you don't come across that too often. In addition to flashlights, you can also blind killers by using firecrackers, which are special event items, flashbangs, which is an item that can be crafted while using the perk Flashbang from Leon, or Blast Mine, which is a perk from Jill Valentine, which when you work on a generator for a certain time, you can then trap it, and if a killer kicks the generator or damages the generator while the trap is active, it will both blind and stun the killer. Self-care service. Survivor Master Challenge. Completely heal yourself for 2 health states while using the perk Self-Care. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Now, in order to complete this challenge, another survivor cannot help you with the heal, and Self-Care allows you to heal yourself without the use of a medkit or other perk. However, I do recommend running a medkit while doing this. It will be faster, and especially if the killer is running perks or add-ons that makes the heal slower, Self-Care takes a very long time, which will keep you from completing the objective of repairing generators. Got You. Killer Master Challenge. Interrupt and grab 1 survivor. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Now this one is a little bit different because you have to actually grab a survivor off of something or someone while they are locked into an animation. You can grab survivors from a couple different things. You can grab a survivor who is unhooking another survivor. You can grab a survivor who's working on a generator, who's cleansing a totem, who's opening a chest. And yeah, this is most easily done with killers that have some type of stealth. You could also run a perk such as Tinkerer, which hides your terror radius, and Red Stain whenever a generator is close to being complete, and and it gives you a cue of which generator that is. But yeah, this might take a couple attempts to try, but I think you'll get used to it and you'll get there. Manifest Distress. Killer Master Challenge. Chase survivors for a total of 90 seconds while using the perk Distressing. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Distressing is a common killer perk, which will show up on the blood webs of any killer. Distressing increases the size of your terror radius, which generally speaking is not the best because it gives survivors a greater warning that you're coming in their direction. However, 90 seconds of chasing a survivor or multiple survivors can definitely be done within 1 trial. You could run Distressing with Monitor and Abuse, which is a teachable perk from the doctor, which decreases your terror radius while not in chase and increases it while in chase. This can give you the opportunity to get closer to a survivor to start a chase. By any means necessary, Survivor Challenge. Drop 15 pallets while being chased by the killer. It's a good thing this is not a master challenge because some maps do not spawn 15 pallets, although there are a few that do spawn extras, such as the meatpacking plant. Now, if you are having trouble finding pallets while in chase, I would recommend running the perk Windows of Opportunity, which is a teachable from Kate Denson. This will light up the aura of pallets, both dropped and upright, yellow. Fight Back. Survivor Master Challenge. Drop a pallet to stun the killer 2 times. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Again, if you are having trouble finding pallets while in chase, I recommend the perk Windows of Opportunity. You can also run the perk Any Means Necessary, which is a teachable from Yui Kimura. This perk shows you the auras of pallets that have been dropped and also gives you the ability to reset the pallet or put it back up where it can be dropped again. Now, in order to actually get a pallet stun, the killer must be pretty close to the pallet, and when you stun the And when you stun the killer, you have a few seconds to run away and get away to the next loop, hopefully. Bloody Rewards Challenge. This can be completed by playing as either killer or survivor. Earn 200,000 blood points. Now this would be very difficult or almost impossible to complete in one challenge without very good offerings being used by everyone in the trial, but it is typically easier to gain more blood points while playing as killer if you have the perk Barbecue and Chili, which is a teachable from the Cannibal. You get bonus blood points for each different survivor that you hook. If you run the perk We're Going to Live Forever, which is a teachable from David King, you can earn stacks by protecting other survivors in order to earn additional blood points. Otherwise, just use good blood point offerings on the killer side, such as Survivor Pudding or Hollow Shell. On the survivor side, the Escape Cake or the Yellow Envelope. Could also use perks offerings such as Bloody Party Streamers, which gives you bonus blood points as well as everyone else in the trial. Hungry Jaws Killer Master Challenge. Catch a survivor in a bear trap 4 times as the trapper. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Now, when playing as the trapper, your main goal is to use your traps in order to shorten your chases and catch survivors in high traffic areas. One of the best places to place traps is around the shack, which spawns in most maps in Dead by Daylight. You can use at the window as well as the corner of the shack and at the pallet. If the map does not spawn a shack, or if you want to put other traps down as well, you can trap certain areas of a main building that are high traffic, or loops that you think that you will be chasing survivors at. There are some add-ons while playing as the trapper that can increase the amount of traps that you hold at once, and even give you all of your traps at the beginning of the trial. Appeal to Heal Survivor Challenge. Fully deplete 6 medkits. Now, this might sound kind of scary that you're going to be losing 6 medkits, but that's not necessarily true. In order to fully deplete a medkit, you must use all of the charges in it. Now, with the medkit, if you survive the challenge and have a medkit that has no charges in it, it automatically refills the charges and when you go into the next trial with it. A sneakier way or a quicker way to complete this challenge is if you run the perk Built to Last, which is a teachable from Felix. This perk, that whenever you completely use the charges of an item, you can then get into a locker for a few seconds, and then it replenishes the charges several times. Now, the more times that you get into a locker, the less amount of charges it replenishes. However, that means that you deplete it quicker, so you can get a couple medkit depletions within one challenge if you're using that perk. Generosity Survivor Challenge. Heal a total of 10 health states of other survivors. Now, I would recommend using a perk such as We'll Make It, which increases your healing speed after unhooking a survivor. Empathy, which shows the auras of injured survivors. Botany Knowledge, which increases the speed of your healing at all times. All of those perks will help you. We'll Make It is a common perk, and then Empathy and Botany Knowledge are teachables from Claudette. And it must be other survivors. Healing yourself does not count for this one. Bring the Light Survivor Challenge. Repair a total of 15 generators. This is the cumulative challenge, and you cannot complete it within one trial. At the very most, you could get almost 7 generators repaired within one trial, but that would be very unlikely if you were 99ing generators and you are the only survivor repairing generators. But since repairing generators is your main objective as is the survivor, you will accumulate this one by playing normally over time. If you want to complete this faster, you can bring a toolbox with a brand new part. You could bring the perk Fast Track from Yunjin that gives you, when you hit a great skill check, you get tokens that progresses the speed of the generator or the repair more. But this one you will complete if you just play pretty normally as Survivor. Blood Debt. Survivor Master Challenge. Unhook a survivor who unhooked you earlier in the trial one time. Must unhook them safely. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Now, in order to complete this, again, you have to unhook them safely, so I recommend running the perk Borrowed Time, which is a teachable from Bill. And this pretty much guarantees a safe unhook, because even if the killer does attack the survivor right after being unhooked, it will put them into the enduring state rather into the dying state. Now, in order for you to unhook someone who unhooked you earlier, the person or persons who unhook you must not be on death hook or have already been hooked twice or had hit second stage on the first hook, because when they get hooked again, or if they get hooked again, you will not have the opportunity to unhook them, since they will be immediately sacrificed. This is easiest to complete with in a Survivor with Friends, but one of the ways that you can hope to get this done a little bit easier is, especially if you're doing solo queue, is by trying to take the first chase with the killer, so that you know that whoever unhooks you most likely hasn't been hooked yet, and you will have a better chance of actually being able to unhook them later in the trial. Dark Senses. Survivor Master Challenge. Finish repairing 3 generators while using the perk Dark Sense. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Dark Sense is a common perk that shows up on all Survivor blood webs, and it shows the aura of the killer for 5 seconds after a generator is completed. It does not necessarily have to be a generator that you are on, and after the final generator is completed, it shows the killer's aura for 10 seconds. Now, in order to achieve this challenge, you must finish repairing 3 generators. So you have to be actively repairing the generator when 3 different generators are completed. Again, this is easiest to do while surviving with friends, while on comms, but if you are running the perk Dark Sense, you can also run the perk Detective's Hunch from Detective Tap, which will show you the auras of other generators. You can use the perk Deja Vu, which is a common perk, which when a generator is completed, it shows you the auras of 3 generators that are closest together. So whenever you complete a generator, it will show you where the next one is quicker. Liberator. Survivor Challenge. Unhook 15 survivors. Must unhook them safely. It does not say 15 different survivors, so you can get multiple unhooks within the same trial. And you must unhook them safely. If you want to ensure that it's going to be a safe unhook, try running the perk Borrowed Time from Bill Overbeck. If you do not have that perk, please do not immediately unhook a survivor in front of the killer's face, because most likely they will go after that injured survivor, especially if you are not injured, and then it won't count as a safe unhook. Botanist Extraordinaire. Survivor Master Challenge. Finish healing 2 health states of other survivors while using the perk Botany Knowledge and a medkit. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Now, this is a master challenge, so it has to be completed within 1 trial, but it is just finish healing 2 health states. So you do not have to completely heal them, you just have to be actively healing a survivor when they go from either the dying state to the injured state, or the injured state to the dying state. And you have to be using a med kit, which it could be any level of med kit, either brown, yellow, green, or purple. You could also run another Claudette perk, because botany knowledge is a teachable from Claudette. You could also run empathy, which shows you the aura of injured survivors across the map. All right, and that brings us to the epilogue. Thank you so much for watching. This has been another Tome Tips with me, Bales Winky Face. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and subscribe. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Bales Winky Face for live streams. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Bye.